So I'm reading Frankenstein. I started it on Halloween because I thought I should, read a Halloween-y, scary. I don't know if Frankenstein's scary, but everyone makes it scary in movies. So I thought I'd start reading a book like that on Halloween. So I've been reading it the last couple of days, 5 days, I guess. And there was something in it that I thought was really interesting, where the character Victor Frankenstein is talking about being in college and his studies and stuff, and how part of the reason that he loves science so much is because there's no end to the knowledge. And he says that in other fields of study, you go and you learn all there is to know, and then it just stops. Where in his field of science, and he was doing natural science, he could learn, and then once he got to the point of where there was nothing else new to learn, he became part of the creating new things and discovering new things, and there's always something out of reach or out of grasp in his pursuit for his knowledge. I thought that was, really brilliant and amazing, and I really like that idea, and I think that really applies to writing and art in general, and that as we write and as we create and present these pieces to society, that there's always something new that we can do with it. And there's a lot of experimental journals and a lot of experimental authors out there who are trying to do new things with writing, and there's a lot of experimental artists too who just constantly trying to do new things. And I think that's an important aspect of the creative process, is not just reproducing what you've seen done. I mean, you have to go through that to learn the techniques in order to be able to manipulate them. I mean, we talk about this in English all the time, especially as creative writers. Is it important to know all and follow all of the grammar rules that you learn in high school and in early college? And it's, the answer is like, well, yes and well, no, because it's hard to break the rules if you don't know how they work. But strictly adhering to those rules does not make for interesting writing, unless you're, not even in essay writing, it doesn't even make it interesting. If you want to write interestingly, you have to shape language. You can't put it into confined structures and make it perfect, because then it's boring. And so I've been thinking about this yesterday and today, because I read the part in Frankenstein today, but yesterday Doug told me that he wanted me to submit to this journal that he's editing for, and it was flattering. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll definitely. But it's kind of an experimental journal where it's there about wanting people to experiment with the visual form of writing. The way that the words are presented on the page, like how that looks to a reader. And I don't really have anything. I have one piece that's written that falls into that category that I'm going to submit. I'm going to try to write another piece that has pictures and stuff throughout it. I'm not sure what I want to do with it yet, but I want to do something with that, because I also talk about multimedia and integrating that into writing, and I feel like I have some ideas, but I'm gonna try to I gotta edit an essay tonight and tomorrow, but I'm gonna take the camera around tomorrow and try to just take some photography and do some stuff, and then I'm gonna take it with us. Going on a trip next weekend for an anniversary. Hooray! Gonna take it down with me and try to do some really interesting shots down there as well. So anyway, I'm trying to rethink the way that I perceive how writing can be put on the page. Because I did do an experimental piece like this once before, where I have a narrator and a character arguing about this character's story. And the character, interjects in, like saying, you're telling the story wrong. And the narrator's like, well, I'm the narrator, so I know how the story's going to happen. And so they fight back and forth, and the way I present it on the page is different than you normally read text. I mean, it's still, left to right, blah, 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 but it's different. The narrator's on one side of the page, the character's on the other side of the page, and it goes back and forth. And I thought it was interesting, and it was fun to write, and so I'm going to if we get this hard drive fixed in time, because if not, I'm screwed, because it's on there. So that's why I want to write a new piece in case that doesn't get fixed in time. So I want to submit that, but I want to write a new one, just to try to explore what can, work with writing. So anyway, it's important to push the boundaries, and you know what? You're going to make a lot of crap when you do that, and that's okay. It's fine to make crap, because, you got to forge through the bogs of terrible writing and terrible painting and terrible sculptures to get to the good stuff. You learn. I always hated this saying when people said it, because it made me angry, but, you learn from your mistakes, and, the only way, it's fail better, which is frustrating, but that's the way it is. So I encourage you, three people who are ever watching, to definitely try to push outside of what you normally do with your art, whatever it is that you do, because that's where you're gonna discover yourself and yourself as an artist, think of how you really express yourself. And I know that I've not at all discovered how I want to express myself in my writing yet. And I don't play with writing enough. Like, I don't play like I should with writing. And so, yeah. Anyway, peace out.